Hello, my name is Neil Ferry. I'm originally from Ballyfermot in Dublin, but I came up to Donegal in 2015, up to Guidor, Brinlack and Guidor. It's where all my family are from here. My granny and my grandfather used to own the post office just up the road. All the brothers, all my father's brothers and sisters are all still here. It's a place where I came from. We used to be up here every summer. Instead of going to the Algarve or Portugal or anywhere like that, it was always to Brinlack. So this was a home away from home. We came up in 2015 for 3 months, myself, my wife Jackie and my 3 children, Ciara, Aoife and Shauna. And we didn't know what was going to happen when we came up. But we just fell in love with the place, fell in love with the people, and we're still here now, 4 years later. And we wouldn't change it. We sold a house in Dublin and this is home now. Well, I started as a hobby in Dublin doing the copper. It's copper embossing, and a very good friend of mine, he's a second generation at the copper, and he just, every time that he used to do it, I used to look at the pictures and I was amused with the pictures, and I said I'd love to be able to try it. And he gave me a couple of lessons and I took to it fairly well. And when we moved up to Donegal here, I started to do a few pieces, and people were asking me then, would you do me a football crest, would you do something else? And the hobby started to become sort of busy, and any spare time that I had I was putting into the copper. But I was loving it. I was going to bed at night and all I wanted to do was wake up the next morning and go straight down and go straight back at the copper. I was loving it that much. It was like an addiction. And just as I said, as people was asking time and time again, and then somebody says, well, why don't you do a Facebook page? And I started a Facebook page and I was trying to think of what I was going to call it. I was thinking about Dublin names, I was thinking about Donegal names, and I just came up with the name Donegal Coppercraft. And it sort of clicked, and anyone then that was getting a picture of me was talking about Donegal Coppercraft, and you were able to spread the name around, which was brilliant. But it was all around Christmas, and as I said, I started doing a couple of football, and it was football crests and club crests and GA crests. And all of a sudden I had about 50 or 60 orders in. And I said, well, I'm going to be able to start making money out of this. It was only a hobby, it was only part-time, because I work full-time with a telecommunications company, putting up fibre broadband. And I think now the way things are going, the copper's going from strength to strength. And I'm actually selling now over in America. I started it as a business this year. And I've been privileged to do the Donegal International Rally. I done the winners' plaques for them, and I was privileged then to be asked to do the Donegal Tunnel Tigers. So I done presentation pieces for the Donegal Tunnel Tigers. Well, the typical piece of copper, it lasts around, by the time I get the design for it and start on it, it could take 6 hours, it could take a week to do. It's all according to how much detail is in the piece. The ordinary piece, like the family crest, they're done on a 17 by 13 frame. They take about, I'd say, maybe 6 to 7 hours. But then when you're going up to double family crests, of course, with more detail in it, it's going to be a lot more. But people actually come to me now with their own designs, bespoke pieces that they come up with themselves, and I love doing them because it's a challenge, because it's not something that I'm going to be doing every day. But the likes of that now could take 2 days, it could take 3 days. But every piece is unique because no 2 pieces are the same. If I do 2 family crests of the same name, they're still going to be different, because the patina that I put on it, one colour will come out different than the other colour. It's just every single piece is unique, which is brilliant. It could be a Celtic cross, it could be a Donegal rally car, it could be anything. But every piece is a challenge. And I love the challenge of doing something, and it's, as I said earlier on, it's addictive. You go to bed at night and the first thing you want to do is wake up the next morning and go straight at it. And you don't want to go anywhere else, you don't want to go to work, you don't want to leave the house. All you want to do is just see the final product and see the outcome. And then it's even more special then when the person who's at the ask you to do the piece, you see their face when they see it for the first time and they love it. And that makes sitting down and all the hard work you put into the copper, it makes it worthwhile then in the end. I just want to thank the committee and thank all the locals for letting me do this here in Chowerish. This house dates back to 1860 it was built, and it's always been known as a story house for people telling stories in Irish. And it was ready to be demolished in 1980, and all the local community all came together, and with the help of Uras na Gaeltacht, they decided to keep the house, and it's now a heritage house where they have small céilís and they have music sessions, and it's the centre of the community. And they have a festival here every year in July, the Knockfalla Festival, and it's all to do with crafts and it's all to do with local foods, and it's going on now over 30 years, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's a must. If you're in the area, definitely drop up to see it. When we came up, we were sceptical about moving up. We didn't know what way it was going to do, what way things were going to go. But I'd advise anybody to take a chance. We took a chance when we come up, and I'm working now full time in the telecommunications. I have this as a hobby, I have this what I started as a job now, a part-time job, which I think will go full time. And I don't think I would have had the opportunity to do this in Dublin. My wife is up here, she's working full time, she's working for Donegal Youth Services, Jackie, and she absolutely loves her job. And she wouldn't have had the opportunities in Dublin that we have up here. And even the children, the opportunities they have now. At home in Dublin, it was always sitting in the house. Up here, they have the wildlife, they have everything they have. There's clubs. People are afraid to come up and take a chance in rural Ireland. But I would definitely 100% say, definitely give it a shot. We done it. It's been successful for us. It's not going to be successful for everybody, but it's the best thing that we've ever done.